Hello, my beautiful movie peeps. Let's talk about some movie news, man. Some of the things we're going to be talking about here today, guys, is it looks like Crayola is going to be getting a live-action movie. We have found out the shockingly long runtime for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Some wild back and forth, non-stop rumors about the Fantastic Four. Really, that along with so much more. So many of you guys give me your opinions down below with everything we discuss here today. And well, to kick things off here, let's just dive into that Crayola news. So Deadline here has it reported that crayon company Crayola draws up plans to enter entertainment business. The article credits the success of the recent Barbie movie and Mattel making a long library of movies based off their IPs. Things like the Uno movie, the Barney movie, heck, even a Hot Wheels movie. And with Barbie about to hit $1 billion this weekend at the box office, we know other studios were going to follow suit, but Crayola? What in the world could that movie even be about, okay? The only way you can get me invested is if you finally tell the story of the kid who was bullied for not having the Crayola pack with the sharpener inside of it, okay? I'm sorry I couldn't afford it, Greg. Sharpener in school is free, works just the same. Even if the teacher yells at you saying the wax makes the sharpener work. I'm getting a bit distracted here, but we always react this way when we hear of something that doesn't feel like there's a movie to tell getting a movie. Like we all thought when the Lego movie was coming out, there was no idea they could make that work, and people loved it. But Crayola, like, what even is that story? So yeah, there's only two ways it could end up. A Lego movie, where it's surprisingly great family fun, or an emoji movie, a perfect example why some things shouldn't be turned into a movie. Let me know what wild thing you would want to see in a Crayola movie. And you know what? That's not even the last property getting announced for a movie, because Collider has it that Monopoly movie in the works from Lionsgate and Hasbro. Now, before we even dive into this article, there has been a long history of a Monopoly movie trying to get made. At one point, it was supposed to star Kevin Hart, and it was going to be traditionally in line with, like, I guess the Monopoly games where someone's trying to get all the money, you know, become the big successor, and Kevin Hart was just going to be the center of all of that. Then there was like another side of it, because apparently the behind the scenes of making the Monopoly game is some crazy situation. Apparently somebody stole the idea from Monopoly, and there's a whole wild true story to it. That at one point was going to be the adaptation for the Monopoly movie, but you know what? I'm kind of always a sucker for those mischievous true stories, you know, like The Founder with McDonald's or the Social Network movie. Give me that with Monopoly, sure. But now it looks like neither of those are going to be the basis for this movie. And again, if we're crediting Barbie for a lot of these random things wanting to make movies and try to gain success like Barbie did, which I think is a lot harder said than done, who knows what the idea could be. At least Monopoly has more material there for an actual movie to happen. You know, we're going to have the go to jail scene, the pass go and get $2,000 or something, steal someone's house. There's at least something in Monopoly where you're like, yeah, I bet someone can come up with a movie for that. So yeah, Barbie's gonna lead us into a new era of these toys, board games, getting movies, and first one to flop, all these projects getting canceled. Let me know what you guys think about a live-action Monopoly movie happening and whether you'd like to see that. Kind of talking about here on the Disney side of things, we've got a bit of an update on two live-action movies that were in the works for Disney, one that looks to be scrapped and one that is being pushed forward. So thanks to the Dis Insider that have been very reliable sources with Disney-related news, they came out and said that the Hunchback of Notre Dame remake that was going to be live-action has been scrapped because Disney CEO Bob Iger isn't really a fan of the original and doesn't consider it a top priority remake. The only live action remake I'm genuinely just like waiting every day and night for is the Hercules movie. Anything other than that, I honestly just couldn't care about. I genuinely got burnt out on these, and this kind of fits in with the things Bob Iger has been saying about, you know, less Disney movies, less projects out there, saving some money. If this is one of those things that fail, fine. But instead of getting the Hunchback of Notre Dame, they're moving on to giving us a live-action remake of Tangled. And that's when you know we've entered a whole new era. We knew this was coming once we got the announcement of How to Train Your Dragon and Moana becoming live-action, that 3D animated movies were now on the table to be given that treatment. And yeah, I guess Tangled could work. I think it's still so utterly pointless to turn these 3D animated movies into live-action because there's barely a jump there from like the 2D ones. I say that with still being fully excited for what they do with How to Train Your Dragon, but if it was up to me, I'd rather see a sequel to the original Tangled. I used to really not mind these Disney live action remakes, but now like there's not even that much of like an age gap between when the original came out to like now. I just feel like Disney really has been making such odd choices lately, and it's no wonder why a lot of people have been going against them. But I'm gonna keep an open mind. Hopefully this turns out good. You guys here, Hunchback Notre Dame, not gonna get the live action treatment. Tangled is gonna get it. Which are you excited for? Talking about some horror movies here for a little bit, we got kind of a small update on the upcoming Final Destination reboot that I'm so excited about. The ongoing plot rumor about this movie is that death is coming for a whole family, generations of it. That something like your great-great-grandma was supposed to die a long time ago. She cheated death, had a bunch of babies, cousins, uncles, sisters, that kind of stuff, and now death is gonna be going to them one by one by one. I think that sounds like an awesome, fun plot, and now we even got some more details from the creator of Final Destination. There's an expansion of the world of Final Destination that I think fans are going to be really interested in and intrigued by. When I say it doesn't add a layer, it's not just, hey, if you murder somebody in your place, you'll live. It's kind of unearths a whole deep layer to the story that kind of, yes, makes it really, really interesting. It's just giving me the confidence that they're headed in the right direction with this Final Destination film, because I think they're really just fun movies. Sure, some of them get ridiculously bad, but not only am I always glued by the way death can come at you in an accidental way in like everyday environments, but it's always how every movie tries to cheat death or how they get clues for how they're about to die. And in this movie, they specifically want to do new things that set up a whole different kind of lore, maybe change your perspective on previous movies. And I mean, already, yeah, because I'm curious, you know, how does a whole generation of people get to live if they were supposed to die a long time ago? That's gonna be so fun to see. The creator also made sure to let us know that although we're currently in a Hollywood strike, as soon as the strike is over, this movie is ready to go, in meaning starting production and all that. So I think it's kind of fun to get an update on Final Destination. You guys hear about this? What do you think? Another horror movie we're heavily anticipating later on this Spook Ya Mama season is, of course, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and we got kind of a shocking update about the runtime of this movie. So thanks to an account that goes by Cryptic HD Quality that's become very reliable with runtimes and announcing when trailers will be coming out for other movies. I've been following them for a bit, and they were right about when the Exorcist trailer was coming out and when the new Saw X trailer was going to be coming out. So with kind of knowing about that, they recently gave us an update on Five Nights at Freddy's where they said Five Nights at Freddy's runtime has been updated to approximately 3 hours. Approximately. A few months ago on my alt, I did say that the movie had a pretty long runtime, but this isn't final. So okay, taking it there with a grain of salt, that as of right now, they have a 3-hour long Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and I think studios always want to cut down from that. Even though we have a lot of 3-hour movies that find a lot of success in Hollywood, it still kind of hurts the chances of your movie because you can only replay it in a theater so many times. So I definitely bet if they have a 3-hour long movie, the studio's probably looking at them going, we need you to at least make that 2 hours 20 minutes, 2 hours 30 minutes. So we might get some stuff cut out of the movie. But let's say right now they are even over that 2 hour and 30 minute mark. Wow. That should let us know they are going to be lore heavy on this movie. It was always rumored that maybe this first movie was going to try and capture the essence of the first 3 games, go through that storyline, and there's definitely enough there for the first 3 games to be part of this movie, especially with getting us the Spring Bonnie suit in there. You know, I got William Afton and all that, but now it's just like they're really going to try and dive into all the story aspects of this film. That could be exciting and frightening for a few reasons, because if they pull it off right, that could be really fun. That's one of the exciting parts of Five Nights at Freddy's is the lore, is the story, and we know they're going to tweak it up and change it up for movie form. But my biggest fear is, you know, 3 hours is a long time, and if you can't keep our attention for those 3 hours, and I already know I'm going to be slightly disappointed with some of the kills going on here since it's PG-13, not saying they're going to be bad, they could still do very effective kills. I just would be worried they wouldn't be able to hold our suspense the entire time. You know, I look at something like Terrifier that had a lot of story threads that went unanswered in the movie, but the thing that kept me invested was Art the Clown going full on sicko mode on the human body and doing some disgusting things for 3 hours. Imagine trying to watch Terrifier if all those kills were PG-13. I don't know if you would be as invested the whole way through. But again, that's just me being worrisome. I'm hoping they can pull it off, and I think at the end of the day, it'll probably come in at 2 hours 30 minutes. But even just the thought that it's going to be 3 hours, wow. Was not expecting that at all, but we shall see what the final runtime is. You guys hear, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is looking to be close to 3 hours long. Is the studio going to let them keep that, or are they going to shave some time off? What do you think the good and bad about it being 3 hours long is? Would love to hear it all down below. All right, bringing us here to the most torturous news that we've been following for like 3 years now. The Fantastic Four. So it was literally just the other day I gave an update on my previous side flick that the current rumor we heard is Matt Smith is now up in the running to play Reed Richards. And we're like, okay, sure, that's fine. I'm sure we'll find a different face next week, but as of right now, that's still the Reed Richards. And well, Jeff Snyder, who has gotten stuff right before in the past, came out and gave us a whole bunch of updates on the movie, as some that was even confusing people, because first, he started off with letting us know Jack Quaid was up for the Human Torch. And I was like, I wasn't expecting that. I love Jack Quaid. I know some people think he would be bad at it. I think he would be fantastic as Johnny Storm. But literally 5 minutes later, that rumor gets debunked. It no longer becomes reality. And we move on to the next person said to be Johnny Storm, which is Joseph Quinn. And I'm just like, this is what I'm talking about. I'm just tired of talking about Fantastic Four. Just make it stop, Fagoli. And look, do I think Joseph Quinn would do a good enough job? Yeah, I like them in Stranger Things. I'm sure they can pull it off here. Would I have preferred Jack Quaid? Heck yeah. I also think there's probably a whole bunch of other people I'd prefer over Joseph Quinn. But if they really got it, I wouldn't be that disappointed. And then it's reported here that Vanessa Kirby will end up being our Sue Storm. Would have been nice to have Margot Robbie as Sue Storm, but again, apparently there was pay disputes and it just would have cost too much money for some of those A-list actors. The other interesting thing to note about this, though, is that they are saying that Sue Storm is looking to be the main character of the Fantastic Four. That's one of the rumors that we're hearing here, and all the other movies has been Reed Richards as the main lead of the Fantastic Four. And that's not to say Reed Richards isn't going to be the leader of the team, but it looks like the movie will be told from the perspective of Sue Storm. And I feel like that is a good way to mix things up. As long as you're still giving us the dynamic between the teams and each character has ample time to be themselves, you know, Johnny, The Thing, Reed Richards, yeah, that's fine. I think that'd be a good way to mix it up. Actor Ebon Moss is apparently also attached to the movie. Now, the mysterious thing about him is we don't know who he's going to be playing. It could be anywhere from The Thing, the Silver Surfer, or one of the heralds of Galactus. I feel like I could see him as a Silver Surfer. I wouldn't mind that. They're still doubling down that Galactus will end up being the villain for the movie. We've been hearing that for months. That sounds fine. It looks like they want a Latino actor to portray Galactus. Some reports saying that Antonio Banderas was offered the role. Really, when it all comes down to is like, yeah, this stuff sounds fun, dandy, and nice, but it's just like such a pain in the butt to hear all these rumors, and I just bring them up so you stay up to date. I wonder how exciting it'll be when we get the actual team revealed. You know, are we going to be like, oh, okay, we saw that coming, or is it going to be just like, finally, we don't have to deal with these rumors anymore? But that's where things kind of lie, and I think we're still headed for at least one more year of all this nonsense happening. But as of right now with the Fantastic Four rumors, where do you lie in? What do you like? Would love to hear it all down below. But that is all movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of my day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.